am so thrilled today because I am here with one of what can only be described as one of my blogging idols. She is also right now my nail twin. We realized that yesterday when we spoke. Hello, dark blue nails, which thrilled me more than you'll ever know because her nails are always amazing. Her recipes are amazing.
Thank you.
Her nails are amazing. Her photography is amazing. She is amazing. She is one of those people that when you meet her, you immediately feel a sense of calm. You feel a sense of warmth. You feel a sense of genius. You feel a genuineness. There's just something that exudes off of my guest today that makes you feel like you're at home. So it is my distinct pleasure to welcome today to I'll Bring Dessert, one of my blogging idols from Orchids and Sweet Tea, Shanika Graham-White. Come on, y'all.
Thank you. Oh gosh, how do I take that intro? Thank you so much.
Just by talking about yourself. When I first jumped into this game, almost 2 years ago, as a blogger, yours is a blog that really just stunned me. Like, wow. It's stunning. It's visually arresting to look at your blog and look at your recipes, but to actually make your food, totally different level. You make recipes that are so accessible for people, including this like creamy garlic chicken gnocchi that we're getting ready to make. I mean, hello. It's like Shanika is in New York. I am in the DC area, and we were talking before about how we are having such cruddy weather, right?
Yeah,
having cruddy weather.
Yep. Yeah, gloomy.
This
the whole bit,
right? Spring, haha.
Right.
We were talking about that before, and how this is such a perfect recipe for today. But what I want to do before we get too deep into the cooktop is I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Like, what we talked about this yesterday, and I thought it was so brilliant. What is your first memory around cooking?
So as we were talking about it yesterday, it really dates back to like when I was way younger, like 11, 12. So I'm born and raised in Florida, Orlando, Florida. And like most of my family is Jamaican. So you're talking about like 90% of my family is Jamaican. And so I kind of got the best of both worlds with the Southern world and then the Jamaican world. And like, if anyone knows a Jamaican or is Jamaican, a lot of them know that like they stick a lot to their own cuisine more than anything else. And so that's what I was used to eating growing up. And I just wanted to like experiment outside of that. So I started like after school, you know, following recipes. At that time, you were doing like cookbooks or viewing online recipes. And like I would try to make like baked chicken or maybe like French fries and all this stuff from scratch. And a lot of times I failed. But
how did your family like? Did they try your food when you were young? When you were first starting?
No. So a lot of the times I did it. I did it when I was by myself, and like
got it.
I would just be like, I just want to zen in this and try this out. And it was scary but fun at the same time.
Right.
And I failed but got better as I practiced. And then I think more so in my teen years, I really started like experimenting even more with like breakfast stuff like pancakes and you know, bacon and eggs. And then like cheesecake was something that I really learned, like my first thing I learned to bake in high school. And I literally mastered that and was like, anybody want a dessert? Cheesecake? I got you.
That's an amazing story because those of us who bake, and there's a lot of people who follow both of us who bake.
Right.
People typically start with cheesecake. Like,
I know.
One of those things that people like, you know, they hear in the cookies of they hear in like pound cake those.
Right.
But you jumped out of the gate with cheesecake.
Yeah, because when I first moved here to Brooklyn at like 13, I tried cheesecake, and I never tried it in Florida. And so when I came here and I tried it, because it's like super big in Brooklyn, I was like in love and was like, I have to learn to make this. And so I think that's kind of like why that was one of the first things I wanted to do, was make cheesecake. Because I just...
That's amazing.
Grew a love
for it.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's so amazing. And so in high school, you're like, you get a cheesecake, you get a cheesecake,
yes,
you
absolutely.
get a cheesecake.
Yeah.
That's dope. But were you asked to make a ton of them to the point where you were like, well, wait a minute?
No, honestly, I literally made them mostly for family. So at that time, I wasn't making for friends or anything. I think like I had best friends that I might have carried a slice to, but mostly family. Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell us more about your journey after cheesecake with food, because you do it all. You cook, you bake. We are
right.
Our names are close. Our meals are the same. Like,
it's crazy.
I feel like you're like my dope younger sister. That's really funny. Yeah, that's
right.
Really funny. So tell us more about like what led you. What was the next step in your journey?
Okay, so my next step, I think a lot of the cooking stuff was just more personal. And so like as I got older, like when it came to special occasions like Thanksgiving and that sort of thing, my parents wanted me to like, you know, bring a dish always, whether it was dessert, whether it was something else. Because I was the one that could make something outside of Jamaican. So they wanted me to kind of bring that to experiment. And then I think I just kind of like realized that, I actually like cooking a little bit. I like baking. It's not bad. Then I literally, so at first, so we can go into like, I wasn't like a baker or cooker at all, like professionally. I was actually in banking, which was like a totally different thing. Yeah. So
wait. We're not just gonna feed past that.
Right.
One second. You were in banking.
I was in banking, which is like totally different. And
so was this what you were studying in college?
No. So I was actually studying psychology. So I wanted to be like a school psychologist. I know, it's like so many random things. Like literally, I wanted to be like a school psychologist. So I went to college and majored in psychology and then minored in school psychology. And so I was doing that, and I did banking because, you know, like you want to work and find a job. And so I hated
money.
Retail. Yeah. And I was like, I did retail like Macy's and Staples and those things. But
God bless you, by the way.
So, thank you.
That's hard. Retail and service. Hardest jobs on the planet.
Absolutely.
Hardest job on the planet.
But then I fell into banking because it's retail still, but it's like, it gives you a different focus, and it's a little bit more like, it feels kind of office, like you're like in an office kind of job. So I was doing that for like a few years, probably like I would say 4 or 5 years while I was in college. Yeah. And then I didn't finish my psychology degree, guys, because I just didn't have the passion after like my junior year. I just was like, I was close and didn't finish. And I was just like, man, I don't want to do this banking thing forever. And so I transitioned from that, and I started working for like a startup in the city. It's called Tbsps. I don't know if people know about it, but it's like a beauty. Yeah. So I was working there at a startup. Startup life was totally different. Like in terms of like, I feel like it teaches you, it gets you ready for entrepreneurship, because nothing is kind of like, like the job, like you have a job description and you have a job to do, but you have to also be able to do other things because it's a startup. And so they're kind of trying to, So I think it kind of gave me that thing of like being able to be flexible. And while I was doing that, that was after having my son, right after having him actually, I stumbled upon blogging, and I realized that, like bloggers were blogging, and I was like, okay, maybe I could try this. And I started that. And at first I started it just fully vegan because I was trying to get rid of like dairy and gluten free, because postpartum, girl, I went through it. And one of the things was,
so you weren't able to like
digest.
You went through it. Explain to the people who may, I don't know, not have parts.
Right.
Been through this. What that postpartum like palate can be like, or what yours was like.
Yeah, I think I went through the typical things that most people say, like the hair shedding, and then you know, like you might have like, I don't know, like you have to go through the whole thing of like the pelvis pains and whatnot. But then I started developing like ovarian cysts each month, which made it extra painful.
Really?
And I realized that had a lot to do with like the hormone imbalances and also the diet. So
diet.
Yeah. So then that's when I started realizing like, okay, every time that I eat a lot of dairy or a lot of gluten, I notice like my digestive system is out of whack and like the ovarian cysts are really consistent. So then I was like, did research and realized, like diet does play a role in a lot of things outside of just like your overall health. And so I started like trying to minimize that. I went vegan and it was hard, guys. Like, especially at that time, there weren't a lot of options. So I was just like,
this was like
2016, I want to say.
Okay.
2016,
yeah. Vegan cuisine and the availability of raw vegan ingredients. Like Tabitha Brown was not in Target in 2016.
Yeah. So it was hard.
And so that was challenging.
Yeah.
So were you shopping in a lot of like specialty shops in New York City to find like, I don't know, tofu and seitan and all of those things?
Right. Yeah. In order to get those specialty stuff, I had to, but I tried to be as local as possible. And so I found myself eating the same things, which got boring, especially when you're not born a vegan. So it's kind of like, that's a big transition. And so I said, okay, let me transition to vegetarianism so that it's like I get a little bit more leeway. And then I realized I was leaning a lot on the dairy again. And so I was like, this is not helping me at all. So at some point I realized like, okay, let me not just subscribe to a diet. Let me just eat healthier and tackle dishes one at a time. And so that's what I did. And my blog kind of evolved into that.
I love it. One of the things I love about you as a blogger is that you are not afraid for the world to see evolution, right? Evolution in you. I think it can be really challenging for people sometimes to see us kind of having our real lives right in front of them, right? And I think it takes a certain bravery, a certain like just strength to be able to say, you know what, this isn't working. I have a whole blog that is for vegan and gluten-free, and I'm going to start to evolve it. I think that's just super dope to me, guys. You guys have to, once you become a brand, right? Shanika, because we're a brand.
Right.
Once you become a brand and you create a whole brand about veganism and gluten-free eating, you have a whole blog out there that's devoted to vegan and gluten-free eating, to then shift to even vegetarianism. But really what she is now is somebody who talks about just healthy eating and healthy whole food eating in a way that you are not going to feel deprived, but it's also going to be nourishing and taking care of your body. To go from where she started to where she is now, and it is a short period of time, it's extremely brave. And I'm going to sit here right now on this live and give you your flowers for that.
Wow.
Because that's not an easy shift to make. I haven't been in this game very long, but even I know, like, changing my brain colors was like, oh, you should do that.
I know.
I was like, now tell me why not? Because they're just colors. And I'm a person, and now I want these colors and not these colors. Oh no, you shouldn't do that. So for her to do what she's done, friends, is just phenomenal. And we are all the better for it because Shanika gets to be Shanika out here in this space. And I am so grateful that she's here. So thank you. Aww. Thank you for sharing that story.
Of course.
I'm so devoted to people understanding that we are not going to be the same person every year.
Yeah.
We are going to continue to evolve as individuals, as families, as business units. Like when you were talking about the startup, that was an evolutionary time in your life because they hired you to do one job and they probably threw 4 other jobs this year.
Yep.
And it required you to be really flexible. Like the fact that you are willing to live out loud and open and honestly have this evolution in front of the world for as large as your platform is nothing short of brave. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that story.
Of course.
Next thing I'm going to do is get started. I've got my Vermont creamery butter, of course,
awesome.
because I'm hooked. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my thing. But as this is warming up, tell me about what inspired this dish. First of all, tell me what we're making today.
Okay. So today, guys, we are making a creamy chicken gnocchi soup. And I was inspired. So let me be honest, guys. I actually was honest in like when I first posted about gnocchi, that was my first time trying it. I was really hesitant to try gnocchi because I just didn't understand what it was. Like, I just like, I don't know if this is like all flour. Is it a dumpling? Is it like, what is it? And so literally my husband got me to try it and I'm hooked, guys. I'm hooked. It literally reminds me of dumplings. So I think that brings me back to like my Jamaican roots, which is like how we usually have our soups with dumplings and like other veggies. So yeah, I got inspired and tried it. And that's kind of like what got me into it, guys. Creamy soups, I love it. I just started like dabbling into. My husband loves more creamy. I love more like watery kind of soups.
Broth based.
Yeah. So I realized that like, oh, the creamy stuff is actually not too bad though. So I think he was more my inspiration.
He's your inspiration.
Yes. He tried to get me into it.
You probably don't even know this.
No.
So he inspired this creamy garlic chicken gnocchi. Like there's nothing about that recipe title that doesn't have my mouth totally salivating right now.
Right.
So let's get into it. So I have my 2 tablespoons of butter. I know I need to start with that. I'm gonna eyeball my butter today, guys. Don't hate me. And I'm going to let that go until... We're not browning butter. We're not making brown butter.
No, we're just going to let it melt.
Okay, so we're melting. We're smelling good.
Right?
It's already smelling good, and it's just butter. That's how magical Shanika is, y'all.
Oh my God.
It's already smelling delectably delicious in my kitchen, and all I have is butter in the pan. I know next is my garlic.
Add your garlic. Yep. So you have mixed garlic. I love that you have that much because I'm a garlic girl too. So yes,
girl,
add as much as you like.
Can we talk about? Okay, I'm gonna be garlic honest with you.
Yes.
If I see a recipe that says 1 clove of garlic,
I'm like, what is the point?
I'm like,
no.
I'm so tempted to keep it stepping. And
yeah,
I actually will read the recipe, and I'm going to tell it's fragrant, right?
Yes.
Until it's fragrant?
Yep.
If I see 1 clove, I'm going to read the whole recipe to see if it's even worth my time.
Exactly. Literally.
Oh. Okay, we're fragrant.
Yes. And then now...
It only takes a few seconds.
Yes. Then after that, you add your seasonings, and then you're adding your flour. So the seasonings are like... Oh, go ahead. I think you have it all mixed together, you said?
I do, yeah.
Yes. So it's like literally flour, salt, black pepper, garlic powder, oregano, parsley, and basil. So
goodness, just all goodness.
Yes. Okay. I like to season my food well, just for anybody who doesn't know my recipes. I might have you out here in your pantry, but it'll be worth it though.
And it was all in the pantry already, so I feel like it's a double win. All right, so how am I going
it until it's like it gets a little clumpy, and then you're going to slowly start adding in your chicken stock. So you want to stir and add it in to prevent lumps, and that's always the trick. Yeah.
and it kind of deglazes the bottom too.
Yep.
It's very cool. All of the chicken stock?
Yep. So you're just going to keep stirring until you see the flour kind of dissolve and it's smooth at least.
Guys, it's already creamy. Like, it's already creamy. I should be paying attention to what's happening, but I'm so, like, I have to tell you guys, how is it already creamy? How did that happen? How did that happen?
So once
oh my gosh.
You can let it bubble just like a minute or two.
Okay.
So you just want to make sure you get all that flour out just so that it's not lumpy.
Right. All right, we're going. I'm waiting. I am waiting. And while I'm waiting, so you talked about having a baby, 2015, 2016. Has anything changed about how you approach food since you had your son?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I think it's twofold. So like growing up, I grew up with a single mom. So I met my dad at like 9 years old. So I didn't know him prior to that. And so my mom was single and in Florida, and we grew up in like Pine Hills, which is like an underserved community. So a lot of the food choices were not healthy, and I didn't grow up eating healthy options at all. And on top of that, I was a picky eater. So I feel like very much.
Really? So what were the foods that you would reliably eat?
Literally, I can count on my one hand. Like I would eat cornbread, like the Jiffy's cornbread that my grandmother used to make. I would literally only eat McDonald's, like the chicken nuggets and fries.
I have one of those.
I would only eat grits and chicken. And it's funny because my nickname was Chicken Wing growing up, which is so hilarious because I love chicken wings and I was skinny. So there you have it. Like Chicken Wing was my name.
That was your nickname?
Yes.
All right, we're not going to call you Chicken Wing. I feel like, that's getting a little familiar. And my family is also from the South. And getting familiar with people is like a big no.
Right.
But that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So what age was it that you started to come out of being so picky? Was it when you started cooking, or was it another time?
Yeah. It was literally like at around 11, 12, which is crazy because, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was anxiety or if it was just like, I don't know. I think all kids go through picky eating at some points, but
I think so too.
I was like extremely picky. And so, at 11 and 12, when I started experimenting, I started opening more of my horizon to like other things, which was still junk for the most part. Which is why I think, like hot sausages, chips.
I thought you were going to say Hot Pockets.
Oh, those two though. Those two.
Okay.
Literally.
Hot sausages and...
Yep, Hot Pockets, chips, whatever beef jerkies, whatever like, all the unhealthy snacks. And so I think after becoming a mom, I kind of like honed in on trying to introduce healthy stuff to him from the beginning so that he didn't fall into that trap. And granted, all kids are going to eat junk and it's okay to have moderation. But I think because I didn't have that upbringing, I wanted to give him something else and give him a better experience. So I'm all about like, okay, if you want cookies, I can bake them. Or if you want muffins, I can make them. Because then you have control over the ingredients. And then he's not like into vegetables. So I try to hide vegetables in them. And so like I've gotten creative. Yes. So
you totally high-fiving you. Totally glad you're in my headphones right now because I do it almost every night.
Yep. Yep. So that is like really what kind of like made me want to focus on like making sure he gets a healthier experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he gone through that super like uber picky phase where he'll only eat a handful of things? Okay.
Yes. Yep. And so I think the difference between when I was a picky eater versus him, I try not to force him because I know that too creates anxiety. And I think that was one of the things that made it longer for me than it needed to be. Oh, you smell that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
not to like be super good right now.
Right.
It's really hard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's like, my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to,
all those seasonings and the garlic. Yeah.
I'm trying to see like what it is that I'm getting. I'm getting,
right.
Of course, I'm getting a big head of garlic. I love it. But I'm getting the parsley. Like I'm getting, oh my gosh, the oregano.
All the seasonings. Yeah.
And they're all super fragrant in their own way.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. We're boiling, so
fine.
should I be doing anything else at this point?
Yes. Okay. So once it starts,
We just started boiling.
Oh, okay, good. So then you can add in your kale and stir that in. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I want to turn down the heat at all?
Yeah. At this point, you can reduce it to like medium low.
Okay.
And then you can add in your shredded chicken once you have that shredded.
It's shredded.
Perfect.
Okay. Sorry. This is how I truly cook, guys. I use my hands.
Oh no, that's how I am too.
Girl, I can't. I cannot fake the funk. Because I cooked a long time before I started baking. So,
right.
You know,
yeah.
This is like, returning to this is like returning to my roots. So I love cooking. And I love finding new recipes. And I'm so honored, like I said, I'm so honored that you're here just to walk me through this. Okay. So
I know.
And chicken is in.
Yeah, so you can let it simmer a little bit. I usually simmer for like a good 2 minutes or so. And then after that, you can add in your heavy cream. I try to add that in like the last few minutes. Yeah. So let that simmer a bit. So at least your kale can kind of wilt up.
Gnocchi and cheese.
Yes, the gnocchi you can add in now. Stir that in as well. Mm-hmm.
They are so cute, guys.
I know.
I can't wait to post a picture of those. Cute little pastas.
I know they are.
Gnocchis. The gnocchis.
And the great thing about gnocchi is they're actually quick. Like they're like 4 to 5 minutes. So literally that's what makes this also awesome. Like how quick and easy it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It truly is. Even doing this, even though you guys, I want to tell you, you're gonna go. Okay, you are going to go to orchidsandsweettea.com. Orchidsandsweettea.com.
Yes.
And you're going to look for this creamy garlic chicken gnocchi soup. First of all, you're going to be arrested by the photography. Just give yourself a few minutes to go through that process because you can't rush it. It's just gorgeous.
Right.
But you're going to find the soup and you're going to look at the recipe and you're going to look at the ingredients list and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's going to take me so long to get together. I promise you, most of them are the spices.
Yeah, literally. As I tell everyone.
Yeah. There's so little chopping involved in this. Even with the kale, it's like five pieces of kale. Like 5 leaves of kale that make up the two cups that you need. So this comes together, the mise en place, and you guys know I have been harping on mise en place for 2 years. The mise en place came together so fast, and the soup is coming together as you all are on here with us. Shanika and I are in here like chopping it up, just talking about her life. And this is like literally just okay.
So you're gonna know that it's done once the gnocchi floats to the top. So it's usually like you can let it simmer for like 2 minutes. Then we add in the heavy cream, and then you'll just let everything simmer. And then once you start seeing them float to the top, then you know that it's pretty much good to go. And then you can just stir in your Parmesan last, and that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That is literally it, friends. There's something, I made some notes because it was really important to me. Inspiring.
Oh, boy.
Like, just tell me, like, somebody that you know or see that just inspires you.
Okay, so I think one of the major people that inspired me is actually my grandfather. And so, so he raised me growing up. So he was my father figure. Yeah. And he's like old school Jamaican. So like if you ever met him, he passed away like about 10 years ago. But if you ever met him, like you would be like, he wasn't even acting like his age. Like he was just so cool, so collected. Literally. Like
I love that.
I don't know. Yeah. So we had such a great bond, and I later learned, like after his passing, that he actually originally worked as a chef for NASA. Like way back, yeah, when he first came to America from Jamaica, and I think he got injured, and so he stopped working, and that's why I didn't know. But then I think after learning that, I realized, like, wow, like, how crazy is that? Like, it feels full circle to be doing this now. And it's like, I'm finishing what he started. And so I think, like, yeah, he's my major inspiration in terms of like how he cooks old school. And that's kind of why I transitioned into my videos being more like you said, like how you cook. So if I use my hand, I use my hand. I use like a beat up wooden spoon, but those are like the best. I use like, it's like, so I changed the cooking style to be super authentic and just like wholesome. And I think that's what kind of has inspired my Evolve now. So I think, my grandfather is definitely like my major inspiration.
And see, you describe your style of cooking, or you describe your grandfather as super authentic and wholesome, and that translates into
that Jamaican
food.
feel, because a lot of Jamaicans cook outdoors, and it's very much so like two types of pots that makes everything, and it's slow but it's sure, and it's flavorful. And so like all those things inspire me, and that's kind of like how he cooked when he cooked. So did you watch him cook a lot when you were growing up? I did yeah.
Oh my gosh, you are just so, like, you used two words, authentic and wholesome, just a minute ago. And when I say that is something that even before I met you yesterday, officially for the first time, that is something that really comes off of me. I mean, authentic, wholesome, just very, very sweet, very giving. You and I think, are part of a group of Black food bloggers, and just from what I've seen, you've just been so giving of your energy, your time, your advice. And it's just that can't be faked. And to say that I am glad that this show of mine has brought you into my orbit and me into your orbit, hopefully. I don't want to be presumptuous.
Of course.
But to say that I'm glad that happened would be a total understatement. I'm just I am so grateful for you for today, for coming here and being here today. So you've talked about your grandfather and kind of what his cooking style was, and what traditional Jamaican cooking is with the two pots. Have you thought about at all your culinary legacy?
I hope that people get healing through the way that I cook, and which is why, like, the aesthetics that I choose, the music, all the things that I do to put into the production is to create that feeling, that vibe.
Ready to put the Parmesan?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Okay.
You can put in
I love how you just threw Parmesan like all over the place. I did the heavy cream already,
Okay, good. Perfect.
Yeah.
So then you just stir and let that melt.
We're done.
Yeah, once it gets creamy and it's melted, then
it's creamy,
we're good to go.
It is. It's creamy. It is creamy. It is so, like, incredibly sweet and brave for you to come on. And I know people use the word brave, I think, too much.
Yeah.
But when you are vulnerable and as honest as you were, and you come in with the spirit of, this is why I cook the way that I cook.
Right.
It's about a healing journey, and I want to help heal others. That just gives people an insight into who you are that they did not have before, I guarantee you.
Right.
And it's very sweet of you to do that, because that's a very, very private, it can be very private. So thank you for being part of my healing journey. You are definitely going to heal my insides today with this creamy garlic chicken gnocchi. It looks like it is finished.
Perfect.
Well, the gnocchi, it's giving the gnocchi like one more minute to come back up. And then, of course, I'm going to taste it.
Oh, boy.
Sorry? My daughter said she wants a bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh,
she
God.
is a taster galore. I love feeding my kids. Like, they are such good little eaters now. They weren't always. And one of them is still, he loves the chicken nuggets and fries from McDonald's every once in a while. But they are such good little eaters now, and I just feel really blessed that I have two kids who really enjoy, like, real good food. Like, if they eat out, if we eat out 2 nights in a row, the third night they're gonna be like, "Are you cooking tonight?" Or are we like?
That is good.
And everything that I make has like mommy in front of it. So like mommy meatloaf, mommy tacos.
Oh my god!
Pressure. Yeah,
but it's
really a lot of pressure.
Though. Yeah, but it's out though.
Yeah, it is really. It is. So, little sister, can we test this soup?
Absolutely.
I'm grabbing a bowl. I'm going to get a tasting portion because I know everybody watching right now is probably hating on me. And also because I don't want to like be in here like, because I would. Because I'm just like that. All right, and we are going to, there is one food in my house and it's not available, of course. So, moment of truth, everybody. I already know it's bomb, so. You don't even have to do that. Like, you don't even have to do that. I can tell from how creamy it is, how gorgeous it looks, the color of the kale, like the fact that it's not cooked down to that brown mush that it can become when it's overdone. Yeah. The color of the kale is so vibrant against the rest of it. The chicken. Oh, I wanted to ask you. So, if somebody has a rotisserie chicken or some leftover, some like day-old chicken, could they totally use that for this recipe?
Oh, of course. I just say chop those bad boys into little pieces or shred them.
Not bad boys. No, because, okay, here's how my mind works. You said bad boy. You're in New York. Are you in the Bronx?
No, in Brooklyn.
You're in Brooklyn, okay.
Yeah.
You are in Brooklyn. You are in New York. You said bad boy. You know where my mind just went, right?
Right.
Can't stop, won't stop. 90s Canadian pumpkins, like all of it. All of it.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, gotta get a gnocchi. Piece of chicken. Perfect bite. Let's go. It's like burning my hand.
Get that bite.
Are you for real?
How is it? It's good?
Are you for real with this?
For real. How is it?
Are you for real with this soup? You're not for real with this soup. You're not for real. I didn't just make the soup with my hands.
Right? In just minutes.
Taking one more bite.
Okay. Crazy.
You are not for real. You are not for real. You are not. Y'all, Shanika's on another plane. Like, this is some otherworldly stuff.
Yeah,
she has
good,
created with the. You really think I would use the word good? Good is not the word, friends. As I like shove a third bite of this into my face.
Yeah,
it's necessary.
It's necessary.
And
so easy. Yeah. And the family will love it. And that's the good thing about it. Like, everybody would love that.
Yeah. My kids
and again, if they don't like kale, you can substitute with spinach, collard greens, whatever. Like, I always love keeping it open for people.
I like the kale in this, though, because I like the texture of the kale.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, my gosh. So there are times when I make things, and friends, I'm not proud of this, but I'm going to admit it to you anyway because we're all friends here.
Right.
There are times that I make things, and like when there are leftovers, I put them in my deli cups, and I shove them so far to the back of the refrigerator because nobody else is going back there.
Right.
This must be one of those things. Going in a deli, I will give them their, thank you, sir, may I have another portion? And that's it.
That's it.
The rest of it goes to deli cups. Once it's cooked completely, obviously.
Right.
All the way to the back of the fridge.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I will consume it in the 1 or 2 days it should be consumed.
Yep. And you just put that right back on the stovetop to warm it, and trust me, it's just as creamy.
Oh, my mother would love you for that. When I say, I don't know if you've heard me tell this story before about she was absolutely, completely against a microwave.
Oh my God.
And when I was in high school, my father went out and bought one. And then in very short order, I'd say a matter of weeks, there was a kitchen fire that consumed the microwave while I was at school. So nobody ever found out what the origin of the fire was.
Oh my God.
My mother was at work at the time. So I can't say it was arson, and I would never call my mother an arsonist.
Right.
We'll just call it divine intervention. At least that's what she thought it was. Excuse me.
Crazy. I don't use it as much either, so I'm big on that too. I like the oven or the stovetop, but sometimes, like, if you just want a quick thing, I'll put it in, but like, I'm the other two conventional ways too, so.
Yeah.
I can side with your mom on this one.
Oh, absolutely. And she would be very happy to hear that.
So you love it.
Shanika, this is...
I'm happy.
Beyond love. There's no way to describe how much I really enjoy this soup. And
so happy.
As promised, I wanted to share something with you today. Friends, this is not something that is currently on my blog. It's still currently under development. Because you guys might know, I have a tendency to be a bit of a perfectionist when I'm putting something up on my blog. But because there's soup involved, I, friends, have brought bread. Specifically batard. We would never call this, we would never, ever, ever in a million years call this baguette. We'd call this batard. But what goes better with soup than crusty bread? And I know I'm supposed to bring dessert. I could totally bring orange spritz cookies, but to pair with this, go with that bread. Yeah, I need this bread. I totally, like, it's a need. It's not a want, it's a need. So, between creamy garlic chicken gnocchi soup and crusty bread, Mama's gonna be real happy today. real happy. And possibly
yes.
So,
absolutely.
I am so grateful that you joined us today. Tell everybody where they can find you while I eat some more of this food so I can stop helping.
Of course. So you can find me on my main website, orchidsandsweettea.com. And then I'm on practically all socials. You can find me on a lot more on Instagram, orchids, the letter N, sweet tea _. And then you can find me on TikTok and you can find me on Pinterest.
So you're on Facebook, you're on TikTok, are you on Twitter?
No, I'm not on Twitter.
Okay.
That's the only one I'm not on,
See, I went and I grabbed a Twitter handle, but I don't do anything with Twitter. I don't do anything with TikTok, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, TikTok, I just post my reels on there, but I'm mainly on Instagram. Like, if people really want to find me, my website and Instagram are the two main things.
Okay. Well, thank you. And your website, wait a minute. Before, I want to clarify, your website is orchids
and
right?
yes,
A-N-D.
Yes.
Sweettea.com. So you said your Instagram's orchids and sweet tea.
Yes.
So just wanted to clear that up just a little bit so that people could find you directly. I think it's really, you are doing something so important in this space.
Thank you.
Your food is healing, right? There's a comfort that this soup offers that you can't get even in a really good store-bought soup, right? There's a comfort in this that comes from your hand. It comes from the fact that somebody that loves you made it. And that's something that cannot be duplicated by any other soup. Yeah. And so in that respect, you've already accomplished your goal. You've already started this healing journey for a lot of other people.
Right.
You already offer that like inner hug with dishes like this that help people on their healing journeys. And to think it all started. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But to think it all started because you were trying to heal yourself. Did you ever foresee that it was going to become this?
Oh gosh, no. Like if you would have asked me this 5 years ago that I would be doing this, I wouldn't even believe you, honestly. It's crazy how life just kind of like takes you on this journey and you just find yourself doing something for other people that you did for yourself to cope. And so
but you did it, right?
Yeah.
You did it. Yeah. Life can tell you to go on a journey and you could say, I'm not doing that.
Right. Yeah.
You actually did it. And so that is another dope thing. There are so many, your dopeness just abounds. Shanika's dopeness abounds, friends. But
thank you.
There's just something, like I said, I wanted to talk to you about evolution and inspiration, but the authenticity, guys, it's just so present. It truly is. It's been my distinct pleasure to have you here with me in my kitchen. It's been a real pleasure to cook your food with you present here in my kitchen. Yeah. And it's been beyond a pleasure to have the ability to chat with you here today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I will forever remember this moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't say things like that because I'm a crier and now goes off this YouTube for all the people watching.
No, seriously. Like I told you before yesterday when we spoke, like this is like a really good thing that you're doing. And so I do hope that I continue to see more episodes, regardless of who's on. Like I just want you to know that like this is important just as much as what I'm doing. And so I'm rooting you on, and I couldn't be more happy to be like one of the first to be on. So
even though we had that little hiccup.
Yeah. Even though. So thank you for what you do, because I know we get caught up as creators with numbers and getting to this big goal, but no, doing the groundwork is what matters. And that's why I strive to get to there, because I want people like you and other people to come with me. And so I just want to give you your flowers live for everyone to see. Like, I'm rooting for you, and I find that this is super important. So don't give up, regardless of how hard it is. And I'm sorry to make you cry, but I'm serious. I'm serious. Don't get pressured by anything. I've been there, and being where I'm at now and being authentic and doing it my way has been tough. And I can't tell you how challenging it's been. And that's why I try to be authentic, so that other people know that it's not going to be easy, but you have to do it because other people are watching you. And the DMs that I get and the comments and people like you telling me how much I've changed your world is bigger than the challenges that I face every day. So keep going, keep doing this. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Shani.
Of course.
Man, I was not ready for that at all.
I'm sorry. At least you have this to comfort you later.
I do. I do. I should just take it just like this. And
right?
This is mommy's bowl.
Yeah.
And then take one of those batards over there and be like, this is mommy's guy.
Yep.
I should do that.
Yeah.
But my daughter really wants to try it. It is beyond delicious. And of course I want to share.
Yes.
Wow. I don't even know how to top what you just said. I'm literally speechless. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on today. We did have a challenge at the top, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
And you were so gracious and patient for sticking with me during that challenge.
Of course.
It can only get easier, right?
Absolutely.
And I look forward to doing more episodes, including another live episode next Saturday with a guest who I will announce on Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, friends, those of you who are here live got the treat of seeing this whole thing taped live. All the warts, all the bumps, all the interruptions, the smiles, you saw all of it. After we conclude our live show, the replay will be available after it's been edited and made to look a little bit more professional and pretty. And it will be released later this week. So, Shanika, thank you for saying what you said. This is my generation and your generation's opportunity to contribute to the oral food history, and particularly in the Black community that is so very important. For us to do that all over the diaspora.
Yeah.
And I am so thrilled to be able to do this on a platform where we are orally sharing about ourselves, about our families, about our inspiration, about our food. This has become, I will say, a staple for me now. So, I'm going to go be unladylike and stick my face in this one, but I will make it again. But I want to really contribute to that space. And so that when your son and my kids are older, they have this to look back on and say, this is what my mommy did to contribute to our food history, and they can be proud. Your son is going to be immensely proud, if he's not already, of the mother he has and what you have accomplished. I guarantee it. You keep pushing because the world loves your voice.
Thank you. Thank you
and your
so much.
And your food. My friends, it has been beyond lovely to have you in my kitchen, where I got to talk to my lovely new friend, Shanika. These are the kinds of bonds that I love forging with other people in the food community, and she was so beyond gracious. If you're not following her now, you should be. She is at orchidsandsweettea.com. The word "and" is spelled out. Or orchidsnsweettea with an underscore.
Yep.
On Instagram. I would hope that she would be willing to come back another time in the future, but I will talk to her about that.
Of course.
If you're saying yes now, then. I would love to have her back on, because we didn't even have enough time to talk about the fusion of cuisines that you've created, which is so exciting to me as well. But we will save that. We're going to put a pin in that. We're definitely going to talk about that next time.
Yes.
So for now, friends, thank you for joining us. And I will see you next week on the next episode of I'll Bring Dessert. If you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that whenever we go live next week, you are able to join us straight away and see all the lumps and bumps and fun that we have live in the kitchen. I'm at Begin With Butter, beginwithbutter.com, Begin With Butter on Instagram, Begin With Butter on YouTube, and basically Begin With Butter everywhere.